So one position on defense that we definitely want to go over is cornerback. I want to go over the depth on that roster and just see where everything is lining up with a lot of the prospects that we do have right now. It's a big battle in the back end of the cornerback spot and really the future of corner, even down the line, you know what I mean? So always great to look at certain things. So we're going to go over all of that and obviously some things that did happen in OTAs that really caught my eye a little bit before OTAs did end. And we had some leaked jerseys, some away Kelly Greens that I definitely want to show you guys. You guys have probably already seen it, but whether they're real or fake, pretty cool. So definitely want to go over all that. So let's get straight into all of it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome for another Eagles daily news content, whatever you want to call it. For today, we have the cornerback position. Now, this one is very interesting because obviously we do know we have our starters in Avonte Maddox, we have James Bradberry, and we have Big Play Slay. Okay, now this is going to be a big year for all three of those guys. Now with Avonte Maddox, he really needs to stay healthy after getting hurt 2 times last year, which he's starting to look like glass a little bit. Got to be careful with him. Find out that backup nickel spot is going to be really important. The outside cornerbacks, we all know it's Slay. As good as he is, I think hopefully he is used a lot better this year. I think Sean Desai will do a good job with these corners, but really it's going to come down to usage with Slay. It can still play at a high level, not worried about him too much, and really should be shadowing the number 1 receiver this year. James Bradberry obviously was the most surprising signing because, we could have lost him where he could have signed somewhere else for, $15-16 million a year and really signed with the Eagles for 12-13, took a big, pay cut, you could say, to come back, and really happy that he has a home now. And, obviously when Chauncey wasn't signed, the Bradberry thing came to be, because I think if Chauncey was signed, I don't think they were going to be able to bring Bradberry back, and I'm glad they did. I felt more comfortable with that, to have your 2 starting outside corners back from last year, which is great. And Slay's here for 2 years, Bradberry's here for 3 years. So now you kind of go over the back end of this roster. Okay, now from OTAs. Okay, so when Slay and Bradberry weren't really playing, I know they were moving Zach McPherson from outside to inside corner, kind of turning heads a little bit, which was good. He was a 4th-round pick from Texas Tech, you know what I mean? His rookie year, he didn't look great. His tackling, I thought, was really good, but he's been a special teamer ever since, and maybe some of these guys are starting to make a little bit of noise. I understand we're not in full pads. I understand we're not hitting another team's jersey. I understand all of that. We're just reminiscing and what could be of the back end of this roster. Josh Jobe started for Slay on the outside, which was interesting as well. And you saw a couple good hits that Jobe had last year. We were up by a few touchdowns, and he, made some tackles last year. Another special teamer for the Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting enough, Greedy Williams gets signed. I think a lot of people forget that Greedy Williams did sign here. Very up and down career, injuries. Was slated to be one of the even top cornerback in his class. Unfortunately, just, his career just hasn't been going the way it has been. And, I'm hoping, and this is like a low risk, high reward move for the Eagles for Greedy Williams, because I feel like with him, kind of revive his career a little bit, and we'll see what happens with it. But I would absolutely love it if he could do something here and maybe they can revive him a little bit. I don't know, possibly what can happen with him, but we'll see. It was a 1-year deal, obviously, so to showcase his talents and working his tail off, and you never know. Like, some of these guys, could show up like that. Now you have obviously, Mario Goodrich, that was, the top, what was he? He was a top corner, undrafted free agent corner. The Eagles signed for the most money. In top money, really. They paid him $200,000 last year. That thought he could be something. I thought Goodrich he was so versatile because he's so athletic. I figured he could play outside corner and he could play safety. But he's been nothing really but a special teamer at this point. Eli Ricks is definitely going to be one I'm going to be paying attention to during training camp. Obviously, this is a guy that, transferred I think from LSU to Alabama, I think he's really been hurt the last few years. I think what dumbed him down, being undrafted is he's just been hurt way too much. Didn't give up a touchdown for Alabama last year, and I think a lot of teams really wanted him. I was surprised he wasn't really drafted, at least in the late round. I mean, 6th or 7th round, I'm surprised he wasn't drafted, but I guess, just those injuries, I guess that's just what happens with some of these guys. So Eli Ricks, I'm pretty pumped about. I really am. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to put too much pressure on an undrafted free agent, but you never know what they could do. When you're playing for Alabama and it catches your eye that the guy doesn't give up a touchdown last year, it's a big eye-opener. So it gives good competition for the room, which is awesome. And obviously you have, Keely Ringo that's in the building now, drafted by the Eagles, aggressively went up to get him before the 3rd day of the draft, which was great. Another Georgia player on this team, to see his progression, to see what he could do. Interesting enough to see if he could, cross-train a safety if that's the case. You have Justin Evans that we picked up as a veteran safety. He's been hurt every single year of his career, pretty much. He's a veteran. He was a 2nd-round pick for Tampa Bay in 2017. So, he's only on a 1-year deal. He's only in for really a tryout to see what he could do. But he's another guy that's played safety and nickel in his career. So, to get that backup for Avonte Maddox is definitely big. But, I think when you lose it, when you're down a receiver or a receiver gets hurt, it's much different than when a corner goes hurt. At least like when a receiver goes down, you can always move pieces around and do different things with your offense. I feel like a defense, you could almost do the same thing, but one mistake and you could be giving up a touchdown if you're an outside cornerback or giving big chunk yards as an outside corner or a nickel corner. Doesn't matter. I feel like obviously on defense, you're going to give up a lot of points if you put the wrong guy out there that can't handle it or doesn't know what they're doing, or is just not good enough for that position. So I feel like, at least with cornerback right now, I feel like there's a real good, healthy back-end competition to this. If I was to really guess, who are going to make the team, I think obviously they keep probably, I'd say 6 corners at this point, maybe 5. Just depending. I think Zach McPherson. I think it'll be Josh Jobe, Keely Ringo. I think Eli Ricks. I think Greedy. It just depends. I don't know how many they're going to keep, but I could say probably 5 or 6 most likely cornerback wise. Then somebody will play. A lot of these guys will play special teams, and then some will be on practice squad. So, like I said, it's way too early, but I like to kind of reminisce in like the back end of things because cornerback, obviously, we're set at that position, but it's another position where if somebody gets hurt, who could take over for big play Slay? Who could take? Obviously, you can't just put a player in for Slay or for Bradbury and play the same defense. It really depends, on injuries. It depends where Sean Desai has to be a little bit more creative and do a little bit different things. They have to blitz more. They have to, put more guys in coverages. There's a lot of different things that Sean Desai could do if your defense is exploiting like a position of injury or a position of vulnerability when you're on the field. So I want to know from you guys, who do you really like at the back end of this cornerback spot? Who are you really excited to see during training camp that really climbs up the ladder a little bit? Kind of want to know your take on that because I think it's really important. OTAs is OTAs. You're not in full pads. You're just. You have Mecky Gardner is another one as well for competition. So there's yes. There's going to be a lot of receivers competing. They're bringing in a lot of guys, obviously. Yes, I know this. They bring in, you have 90 guys on the roster. You have to cut that down to 53 in August in one day. That's the new rule. You have to cut the roster down from 90 to 53 in one day. I think there's a lot of promise here. I think there's some good talent here. I'm just excited to see once those full pads get on, they start hitting each other and start hitting another team, really to see like what these guys could really do. And that's when we're going to really see realistically see all of that, which would be cool. So I want to know from you guys what you guys think of the back end of the raw. Cause I think there's some talent here has been here a few years. Some guys making plays here and there, guys that played special teams, guys that, have had really good college, careers, at least with Eli Ricks. I think he's probably my favorite one I want to kind of look at to see if is he gonna even shine a little bit, during training camp, maybe surprise some guys. You never know who can really climb up, and make some noise and get some attention. So it should be interesting. So I want to know from you guys about all that with the cornerback position, the back end of it. You don't want to deal with another Josiah Scott, another Josiah Scott type situation where a corner goes down and now you have a weakness glare, and offenses are going to see that and exploit it hard. And I felt like that happened a good amount of times last year as well, especially when Avonte went down. It went down 2 times. Thank God we made the playoffs, because then he probably wouldn't have came back, to play. So, you always have to see what you have behind there. So I think that's really interesting. Now, we had some jersey leaks, at least for apparently there's some away Kelly Greens, and oh my God, I love these. Man, it's going to be really tough for me not to buy these, even the regular Kelly Greens. Now, I don't know if they're actually wearing these this year. I don't think so. I think they're just wearing the regular Kelly Greens, unless they're going to be wearing away Kelly Greens. I'm not really sure. I like midnight. I love the midnight green jerseys, guys, but I hate the white jerseys. I do not like them. I've never really liked them over the years. This is different. This is just different because it's a different color scheme. You have the old school logo on there on the sleeve, and it's just different. But I feel like, they have to release these. I don't know if this is true or false. I mean, these were kind of circulating all over the internet. And people were kind of posting these, like, they're going to make a lot of money from these jerseys. It's going to be nuts. I mean, I can't wait. As soon as those Kelly Greens are out, you better get them, because they're going to sell out so quick. You won't be able to get them till like later on. So make sure obviously I'll keep watching the news on the Kelly Greens, see if there's a certain date, I don't even know what's going on with them yet. If I was to guess with these jerseys releasing, it's probably going to be like 2 weeks before they're going to be wearing them. I doubt if they're just going to sell them before the season starts. Just, oh yeah, here they are. They're going to make more money if they sell them for a certain game. They're going to be wearing them, okay, like 2 weeks before. This way people have to buy them so they can wear them to the game, which would be really cool. So I want to know if you guys like these. I think they look clean. They look dope. So really enjoyed those. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. We talked about the corner position, the back end a little bit, every player really. It's going to be in competition. Just to ask you guys, who is your favorite player you're going to be kind of, rooting for on the back end of that corner position? What's going to happen? So we have less than a month left until Eagles training camp. We have a few weeks. So sit tight. It's going to get kind of crazy. Once it starts, guys, that's it. We're on the move and the depth charts, and we're going to see, every day there's going to be reporters there, and we're going to be going through a lot of news every single week. So, and obviously the Kelly Green jerseys as well. How excited for you? Do you think those are real or fake? You let me know. And update for you guys, tomorrow is my birthday. I will be doing a birthday stream at 7 o'clock. We're going to do a little bit of gaming. We're going to do something a little different tomorrow night. Just hanging out, ask me questions. We're just going to chill. We're just going to chill all night. So for a few hours at least, and just hang out. So yeah, if you guys glad this all in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you definitely like the video as well. It does help me out a lot. And that's it. Fly Eagles fly, guys. We're ready to go, and just a few more weeks and we will be at Eagles training camp. I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy your work week. Shake Squad up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.